Hey, what's up everyone? So since I've been doing all of the guides for Paradise Lost, a lot of you have requested that I show you the healer role. It's something I don't do on my streams. I'm always doing DPS, and it's because I don't really be a healer ever. That's why. But I thought it'd be a great idea to get a video out to show you the perspective of a healer during the incursion based on our strategies. Now, obviously, there's many different strategies. This is not the only way you can do it. We actually use 2 builds for this as well, but you can just use one. I'm going to explain it all in today's video and show you this perspective for those that have been asking. We'll go through the whole incursion. I'll be talking through each encounter and showing you what skills to use and things like that. Please be sure to drop a like on this video and comment down below if you enjoy it today. It would be very helpful. Thank you. Now, let's get right into it and show you the main healer build. You can be using this build throughout the whole incursion if you want to. As mentioned, I do have a separate build for the right boss fight, which we call the tank healer. We'll show you that later, but for the most part, this build's going to be fine as the healer. It's the normal healer build, future initiative. We won't go into too much depth. We've got the Scorpio as a primary. You want to have a lefty here as a secondary for this perfect sledgehammer talent. Roll swap speed onto it. It's got to help matters, really. Nothing else matters, mods, anything. You're just going to be using this for the sledgehammer proc. Sidearm doesn't matter. 4-piece future initiative on the mask, chest, holster, knees. We're giving your team damage with that. Repair skills on them all. BTSU gloves just in case you need to refresh the hives for your teammates, but also we use it for decoys at times as well. Alp's backpack for the repair skills, and that's got opportunistic on it just to help with team damage. That's the build. Ignore the grenade launcher specialization. That needs to be changed to survivalist. I keep forgetting to do it. The survivalist gives you more repair skills, I think, and for the whole incursion you will be running the restore the hive, and you'll be swapping out the chem heals for other things at some point, so we'll discuss that as we go. So this is the build you want. We're now going to go through the first few phases of the incursion, showing exactly what I do as the healer and give you that perspective. Please do bear in mind, as I said at the start, I never heal. We're just doing this for the footage, so it might not be the cleanest. But right at the start, what you're going to do is your team's going to head to the right. As the healer here, you're just going to help take out the ads, or if you skip them, that's absolutely fine as well. You can just run straight up the steps in front. Your job's just to keep everyone alive. You can drop a hive and go overcharge at this point if you want to for the decoys, but I don't. I just go in, I throw the hive down, and then the guys on DPS with me are going to take out this Chunga that I'm going to stack with a Scorpio, and then he's going to die, and then one of my teammates is then going to take out the turret on the right. So my job here is just to put that hive down, get the chem out if that's what I'm using, and just to keep everybody nice and healed. You don't really need the chem at this point. If you wanted to use decoy instead of the chem, that's also fine. It works very well with the overcharge technique as well. You can overcharge going into the area, throw out overcharge decoys to help matters. Your team will only have your hives at that point, but that's up to you how you want to do that. The chem is quite nice though if you just want to ensure that nobody goes down and everybody stays safe. But as I say, that Dragonov goes down outside. This is all you got to do though. You've just got to heal, make sure everybody's okay. And once all the ads are cleared and the 2 turrets are done, you're good to go on to the next area. I know I said I'd give you a full run of this incursion, but this fight is very easy. When you come in as a healer, just place your restorer hive there in the center. Everybody can go and get a heal off that if they need it, and you're also going to be running the chem launcher as well. Definitely run the chem launcher for this. Depending on your team's positioning, you'll be able to give them a heal. Dragonov over there, you'll see me heal him in a minute. He's nowhere near my hive, so he will need my chem at times, whereas the other 2 around the area in our strategy will just use the hive. Now, this spot up here on the right side is absolutely perfect. You can see that I have view of the whole area, so I can get a chem out if I need to, and I can also help with the Scorpio. So with my Scorpio, I just focus ads just to proc the Scorpio debuffs and also to proc opportunistic. I'll be doing that quite regular, but keeping an eye on my teammates' health bars. I just noticed Dragonov is low, switching to the chem, and just like that, I can get him healed. So keep an eye out for that, but while your teammates aren't struggling, get that Scorpio out and just keep on shooting targets, especially the Chungas. The Chungas will go down very quickly with opportunistic given to them as well, and any Scorpio debuff. One other thing you will be keeping an eye out while you're up here, depending on your team's positioning, when you have the target waves where enemies with targets come out, they're just going to focus on the oil tanker solely. A sniper comes out in this top right corner. If a teammate isn't up there, you can just make sure you hit the sniper with your Scorpio to kind of like stick the sniper in place so your team can deal with anything else without that sniper doing any damage to the tanker. Something you can focus on. I'm not going to show everything now. It's doing this all the way up to the drone wave at this point. You're just healing and shooting people with a Scorpio. When the drone wave does arrive, it's a good idea to get everybody into the healer hive just to be safe, especially if you're trying to go flawless. So just head to the center, make sure your hive has got enough charges. I've got 18 right now, which is absolutely fine. Just try and get the opportunistic proc on the drones if you can. It'll just make them easier to go down for your teammates shooting them. They'll have your healing hive as well at the same time. And I think if you're closer to your teammates, you give off some better heals with future initiative. I forget how it works. I just clutched up with Dragonov there of a heal. He was outside of the hive. So do have your chem ready at times as well. And you're just helping proc the drones so they can get destroyed a little bit more quicker. Once the drones are gone, you're going to revert back to what you were doing. So I'm just going to refresh my hive now because all the stacks have gone. I'm just going to hit overcharge and we're going to get some overcharged chems out while I do that because there's no heals down right now. And as soon as that hive's charged back up, I'm going to place it back in the same position as it was before. And then once the hive is back out, we'll just go back up to the original position at the top and carry on doing exactly what we were doing before. Just giving a chem to any teammates that need it and using the Scorpio to debuff and give extra damage to enemies. Once all the waves are clear, I'm just going to throw my healing hive over near the door here. So when they go in and the final chunga appears, they've got some heals if they need them. My chem was ready as well. My teammates are going to take out this chunga and then we're going to move on to the right boss fight, which is very tricky. And you got a lot more to do on this one. We also changed to a tank healer build for this. Shout out to Penny that came up with this. It's a great idea. You don't need to do this, but our healer on the right boss fight will be in charge of kiting right. So what we wanted was a bit more survivability. Not only are you in charge of kiting right, you're going to be in charge of getting sledgehammer on right as well, while keeping the team healed. And this build just does it perfectly, if I'm being honest with you. You can do it with the Future Initiative one as well. This just gives you a bit more survivability. So it's a technician specialization. Scorpio, lefty, just as before. We've got a Future Initiative mask, and I'm going repair skills on that with a protection from elite mod. It's also skill tier. You've got the perfect Vanguard chest piece. It's got armor there, armor regen, repair skills, protection from elite. You'll be giving your team Vanguard. The holster I'm using is the Brazos holster for skill haste. You can see the skill tiers unlocked as well because we got the Ninja Bike backpack, just giving us a skill tier. Armor regen, and repair skills on that. So I've already said we got the Ninja Bike backpack, just procking extra procs on all these pieces. And then the Alps gloves are there for the repair skills. Got repair skills and armor regen rolled. And finally, we're running with the Murakami knee pads, the Emperor's Guard ones that give 1% armor regen. I've rolled repair skills on that, and it just works with the build. If you don't have the Emperor's Guard, don't worry too much about it. A normal Murakami knees will do with repair skills and armor regen. And that's the build. That's what you want. I'm getting 6 skill tier. We've got 1 off the backpack. We've got 1 off the gloves, knees, and mask. So that's 4 skill tier there. We've got the 5th skill tier with the technician specialization. And because we're proccing the 2nd talent on Brazos, we're also getting a skill tier from that. So it's a 6 skill tier build, which means your Restorer Hive is doing some good heals. I will warn you though, the recharge rate is not great, but once you get comfortable with this, it doesn't really matter. You'll have the Vanguard as a secondary support for your team. You'll be proccing Vanguard all the time with your shield. So you're going to want to use the Restorer Hive and the Ballistic Shield there, or whatever. Yeah, the Bulwark Shield rather. So you'll be using those skills on this boss fight, and that's what the build looks like. We'll show you exactly what you'll be doing in the role now. But again, remember, you don't need to do this. The Future Initiative build should work as well. You just won't have as much survivability. One last thing to mention as well is concussion grenades. I think fire grenades are fine, but with concussion, I believe you're going to start with 7, which you want as many grenades as you can get for this encounter. There are going to be no skips now for the rest of the incursion on the encounters. So we're going to start the right fight now. And as the healer goes straight to the door, and when right spawns in and breaks through this door, you want to get his eye. Now, sometimes I was throwing the Restorer Hive into the room straight away, but this time I didn't. I think it's a little bit easier if you don't. They can last a minute without heals, you know. So get the eye and come straight back here to this circle. We're going to go straight through a damage phase. I'm going to back up. I'm going to switch to my grenade. I'm going to throw a grenade on him for the sledgehammer proc. I'm going to have the lefty on while it explodes. And then going to switch to the Scorpio and start shooting right. Now that's basically the process you're going to be doing on every single damage phase. Your team are going to shoot right, and you should get the first segment done in one go. That is your role of this fight. You can see I've put the Restorer Hive inside now as well, so people are getting heals. And you're just going to be careful of those charges. Now hit a valve as soon as he goes into like that fart phase, and make sure you proc Vanguard as well just before to keep your team alive. And then once you've hit a valve, as soon as right goes outside, he's gonna destroy one of these pipes to go back on fire. While he's doing this, pick up the hive to regain some charges, because charges are a little bit of an issue here with the build. But put it back down once you're done, and then kite right around the room while your team clears some ads. We're getting ready for the second damage phase now. I can keep on proccing Vanguard every time it's available too, and we're gonna go in for another damage phase as soon as the ads are clear. Your team will let you know. They've still got 9 charges on the heal there, so I'm just going to pick it back up and try and get a few more charges for them while there's not many ads, and we'll take him to a damage phase. So we're using stage. The valves hit inside. I'm going to switch to a grenade if I can. I think I messed up there because I got stuck. I got the grenade out in the end. I switch to my lefty while it explodes, get my Scorpio out, and then do some more damage. Sledgehammer is procced. He's got some Scorpio stacks on there, and they easily get him through that next segment of help. And we've one phase that as well. He's now going to do his like fart again. So at this point, I'm just going to wait to give my team the Vanguard. That'll help them with this little instance here. I'm going to hit another valve, and then the valve is going to make sure I get the eye once the boss has done another pipe. And then you're just waiting again. I'm picking up the hive at this point just to recharge some of the charges. And then as soon as right is back on me, I'm going to put that hive down and then kite him around the room again. It's just rinse and repeat, really. And the key to this is just getting used to getting that grenade hit when you do get him on a pad. So he's on me now. I'm going to be putting that hive down. I've just procced Vanguard again. I'm running back around the room while my team deal with the ads, and we're getting ready for one final damage phase, I hope. So just keep on moving, wait until your team say the room is clear, and once it is clear, we're going to kite him to the final position that we want him to be in. I think this is going to be this area again. Yeah, so I'm getting ready. I'm bringing right over. I'm going to barrel roll back when he's on it, switch to my grenade, get a grenade on him, keep my lefty on until it explodes. There's sledgehammer procced. I'm back on my Scorpio, getting some Scorpio stacks in there for my team, and then that should give them enough damage to get him finished. And you do it in 3 phases. It does take a little bit of practice. You've got to, you know, get the right position to get him on the pad so you can hit the valve and get the grenade off at the right time. You're not just going to be able to do it first try, but with a little bit of practice, it's very, very easy. And the most important thing is sledgehammer. You give enough heals to your team. It's a little bit annoying because you do need to manage that hive of this build, but you have so much more survivability while you're out there and you're kiting and you're throwing a grenade. I think it's worthwhile. But again, as I have said, you can just do this with the Future Initiative healer build. It's exactly the same method. You just won't be picking up the hive as much because it'll last throughout the whole fight, and you won't have Vanguard for your team, but they will have the hive all the time, and obviously you won't have as much survivability when you're out there throwing a grenade. But that encounter is now done, and that's how we do it. For the final encounter, we are back on the Future Initiative healer build, and your job here is to kite Martinez right from the start. And I'll show you exactly how to do this. Get your handgun out, start shooting Martinez, and stay about this distance. This distance is perfect. You do need to be careful of mortars. I get hit by one there. I didn't spot it. Watch the mortars. Kite Martinez and make sure that she gets quite close to you. Don't just run right away because it's quite easy to lose the eye. When Martinez approaches you, I just keep on shooting. Once you're back in this position, you're very, very good. I drop my hive here, and you'll also notice I've switched my chem to a decoy. Make sure you do that. You want to decoy at this point rather than the chem. And all I'm doing now, while everything else is going on, is I'm just keeping Martinez in this corner. I've got a heal if I need it in case I catch some fire. And my team's doing everything else that is needed. We're not explaining all that because we've already covered those in guides, and you just wanted the perspective of the healer. So this is what I do as my healer. And we just keep on running around in a circle. We're basically waiting for the team to kill the ads and destroy the drone. So once that drone is on its way, as soon as they're about to go and shoot it and destroy it, I'll pick up my restore hive. I'm going to forget the drone. I'm going to trust my team. I'm going to run for the center. Now, I want to throw a decoy out in this archway, and I want to drop my hive in the center here. The hive will keep everybody healed. The decoy will help with aggro. I then want to use the sledgehammer again. So I'm throwing a grenade out, switching to my lefty, waiting for the explode, then getting my Scorpio and getting the Scorpio procs with opportunistic on Johnson. There, do some damage to Johnson. Once Johnson has kind of like skipped that phase, I'm throwing another grenade out with the lefty just to get the sledgehammer on. And then I'm going back to my Scorpio and continuing to proc opportunistic and Scorpio stacks. Doing some damage on Martinez now, so I'm just switching my shots there, making sure sledgehammer is on at all times. I'll keep on throwing grenades out and keep on getting the lefty on just to keep that active as much as I can. And in between that, I will go back to my Scorpio just to, you know, get the Scorpio buff. So we've just killed Johnson. Make sure Johnson goes down, and once Johnson's gone down, you've just got Martinez to do. We're a little bit slow there, so there's a bit of immunity. Because Johnson died, though, we can carry on. And then once Martinez is dead, all you got to do is rinse up on any ads that might be in the area, and the incursion is complete. You'll see that I got a nice exotic drop there as well, and yes, it was the Ouroboros. I've had so many of them. My RNG on this is insane. But that is basically a perspective of what my healer does. Probably not to the best of the ability because I never heal, but you asked for it. That's how we do it, and we're improving this strategy all the time. At the time of recording this, we've already made some adjustments and some good ideas that we're testing. So I'll keep on releasing videos as I go of new and improved methods of doing this and better ways about going about things, really. At the minute, we're thinking of like a true Patriot healer build for this fight that could work quite well. We're currently testing that. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. I hope this video has been helpful for those that have been asking. Thank you again for watching. Make sure you hit like and drop a comment down below to support the video. Subscribe for more content. And if you want help with this incursion, we are helping in our Discord community. So come and check that out. Link down below in the description. Until next time, stay safe. Thank you for watching and peace out.